That I would turn to Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, Drew Evans.
Well, thank you, Governor. And at the outset, I want to express my condolences to the Minneapolis Police Department, Assistant Chief Blackwell, and all the members of the City of Minneapolis Police Department. As the Chief noted and the Mayor noted, this is a terrible day. As the Governor noted, this is happening far too often in the state of Minnesota, and something definitely needs to change. What we had today is another police officer that was killed in line of duty, who was rushing towards danger, who answered a call for service, and the first thing he did when he got out of his car was try to help victims that were at a scene, and he was ambushed. And I'm seeing that far too often where individuals are doing that on a regular basis, where they're doing their jobs, and the first thing that they encounter is gunfire. And it's alarming and it's scary, and once again we're sitting here with a police department that's in incredible pain and a community that's in incredible pain. As Assistant Chief Blackwell noted, this call was originally a shooting call at an apartment, and as Officer Mitchell neared the scene, he located individuals that were injured and got out of his car, and as he was attempting to provide assistance to them, medical assistance, he was ambushed. With that, in the original apartment, 2 males were shot. We will be working in the coming days to provide you additional information about that particular incident. One was deceased at the scene. One was transported to the hospital, and as was noted, is in grave condition at this time. And we'll provide additional information on that in the days to come. Where Officer Mitchell was shot was about 1.5 blocks, 2 blocks away from the original calls area, and that's where he was shot by the subject at that time. And there was another person, an innocent bystander, we believe, that was shot as well at that location that is currently alive and in critical condition. There was also a firefighter, as noted, that was shot in that particular area as well. We will release the information about the actual subject that was involved in this. A second officer, I should note, arrived shortly after Officer Mitchell was injured and shot, and exchanged gunfire with the subject at that time. He was injured in that gunfire exchange as well, and the subject is deceased at the scene in that location. As noted, we believe we know who the individual is. We believe this is isolated to the 2 different locations at that time. We believe that the individuals in the apartment had some level of acquaintance with each other, and I want to just caution everybody at the outset, we're in the very early stages of this investigation. I ask for your patience. We'll provide you a lot more information as we get it together. As noted, the Governor noted, we have crime scene investigators out at the different locations right now, and we have dozens of agents out working to meet with witnesses, canvass the area, gather additional information so we can provide you with the answers that I know you all want right now and into the coming days, and we'll provide additional information as we have it. With that, I would open up just to a few questions. As noted, we will provide the information on the officer in the coming days, as is a normal protocol with the work that we do, and we'll provide additional information on the deceased persons and the other people injured once we have confirmed all that, and we've had an opportunity to be able to speak with them, their families, and notify the appropriate people along the way. But we can open up for questions for anybody here.
Superintendent Evans, do you know what led to that original shooting?
No, that's still part of the real active investigation. We still have work to do that. We know that there's certainly some level of acquaintance amongst the people that were in the apartment, but we still need to uncover the motive, and really that's part of the active investigation.
Do we know how many Minneapolis police officers exchanged gunfire with the suspect?
At this time, we believe 1, but we're in the very preliminary stages of the investigation. So we work through a very detailed process to uncover that as the work that we do. Right now, we believe it's just 1.
And did the suspect fire upon Officer Mitchell from behind? Do we know?
It was part of the active investigation. What I can tell you is that Officer Mitchell was attempting to assist the individual that shot him. And with that, it happened very fast, and that he ambushed him. And we'll provide much more detail on that. It'll make a lot more sense in the coming days as to exactly what happened. But I will tell you that there was a very close encounter and that he ambushed Officer Mitchell.
I did have a quick question. You mentioned ambush a couple of times. Was there a sense that these folks were lying in wait for these responding officers?
Yeah, I'm using the term for a reason. I've seen the video, and he was ambushed at the time by this individual that was there.